we're back. All right, can't wait. Nobody playing ball yet. Hey, I'm back. Everybody remember me? Remember the show? Well, in case you forgot, I'm Randy Tibbins. You know who you are. Come on in, pull up a chair, sit down, relax, and let's talk Dodgers. This is the only, best, and first podcast by fans, for fans of your Los Angeles Dodgers. And we're here to talk to you about everything Dodgers. It's off-season Let's Talk Dodgers. A couple of weeks away from spring training, so let's get to it. Our last show was December 18th. That could be a good thing or bad thing, depending on if you like this show or not. Happy Crappy Mike Day again. We're using the crappy microphone. That's cool. Today is the 8th of January, so Happy New Year, everybody. Elvis would have been 81 today. Cool. Last show was December 18th. Happy New Year. Let's run down on everything. I mean, all the major and maybe a few minor stories that happened since our last show in the middle of December. Are you ready? All right, stick with us. It's going to be a long show. First of all, back on the 21st of December, a couple days after the last show, we learned that Hyun-Jin Ryu was supposed to be ready for spring training according to the team and according to him. And he is attributed to saying, quote, "I have no reason to believe I won't be ready for spring training. Other than throwing off a mound and going all out, I pretty much can do everything I want to do. I'm on a great program and everything is going great. No discomfort, absolutely nothing. I'll go for that." At the time, Ryu said he was playing catch-up to 120 feet, restricted only by athletic trainers who wanted Ryu to be ready in February, not December. So he's not rushing it to get ready by the first year. He's rushing it to get ready by February. I like the thinking. He's on schedule. He's not hurting, so don't push him. Leave him where he is. He'll be fine. He said, "I feel so good. I feel I could do it stronger, but I trust the trainers and the medical staff." Well, that's always a good move. And with what they tell me to do, he said, "I'm sure in time I will get back on the mound." Ryu turns 29 in March. He leaves Korea. He left for Korea and he came back. He's going to return with the Dodgers in mid-January for one day and then head to Arizona for some serious conditioning leading up to the start of camp. I heard lately he's supposed to be back in the country January 11th. So, Hyun-Jin Ryu, we hope you're back. We hope you are 1B this year. We hope you are our second ace, possibly our third ace if we have another one. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. On the 22nd of December, they said that Justin Turner is right on track with his progress since his knee surgery. He's been cleared to begin hitting and throwing right on schedule. By now, he's probably doing a little of that, and you're going to hear about it more because tonight on Off-Season Dodger Talk, he's going to be a guest with David Vassegh. We'll mention that again later in the show. We're not taking that phone call. No phone calls on this show today, but we'll catch you later. Anyways, Justin Turner should be back on track. Also on the 22nd of December, California-based sculptor Brantley Cadet had been selected to create the Jackie Robinson statue that will be unveiled at Dodger Stadium in 2016. And there was a lot of debate as to what other and who other statue guys should be at Dodger Stadium if they decide to do statues, kind of like they do busts at Yankee Stadium. We'll see, but the first one is going to be about 9 or 10 feet tall. Jackie Robinson, you heard of it already. If you haven't seen it already, go to Jackie Robinson Field at UCLA at their baseball stadium, and there is already a statue in tribute to Jackie Robinson, because, of course, as you know, he was a 3 or 4 letter man at UCLA. So it should be fun to have a Jackie Robinson statue, and even more fun to have more statues at Dodger Stadium in the future. We'll see what happens. On December 30th, and they left a message. Good for you. On December 30th, the all-time left-hander, three-time let's back up. Repeat. Three-time All-Star left-hander Scott Kazmir signed a 3-year deal with the Dodgers on December 30th. Reportedly, the deal was for 3 years and $48 million. That's not a bad deal right there. Kazmir's pretty good. It also contains an opt-out clause after his first season. Why would you want that? Well, in case parties aren't happy, or he doesn't do well, or he doesn't like it, whatever it is, or we get more pitching besides him. Kazmir was 4th in the American League with a 3.10 ERA and 183 innings last season for Oakland and Houston, 1.21 WHIP, 15th in the AL, and 7.6 strikeouts per 9 innings, not bad. The Dodgers are his 6th career team, but first in the National League, though, it was the New York Mets who drafted and signed him in 2002. He was the AL's Pitcher of the Month this past July, allowing 1 earned run in 34 innings, the same month that Clayton Kershaw was named NL Pitcher of the Month. That's interesting because Scott Kazmir was great at the beginning of his pitching career, and then he kind of was on the downturn, left baseball, actually didn't leave it completely, went to the International League, then he got re-signed again by the Indians, so he's back in the system, and from all intents and purposes, all the scouts say he's a better pitcher now than he was when he first started, so that's cool. Dodgers potentially now have 5 lefties in their starting rotation with Kazmir, 32 next season, joining Kershaw, Brett Anderson, Alex Wood, and the recovering Hyun-Jin Ryu. We know now we have another guy we'll talk about in just a minute. To make room for Kazmir on the 40-man roster, the Dodgers designated outfielder Daniel Fields for assignment. That was back in late December. Fields was claimed on waivers from the Brewers December 7th, so he's now gone. Now, as we turn into 2016, and we once again say Happy New Year, apparently Alex Anthopoulos appears to have found a new landing spot after a report surfaced Tuesday afternoon on the 5th of January that the former Blue Jays general manager has accepted a front office position with the Dodgers. That happened earlier this week. Dodgers haven't really still confirmed the report, because when they do, we will find out. We don't know yet the exact nature of his new position. It wasn't immediately clear, but the native of Montreal previously stated that he was exploring several opportunities and hoped to land a new job in the new year after he kind of got dissed by the Blue Jays. I guess we won't go into that here, no politics. The story was first reported and tweeted by Vince Cauchon, a sports reporter for Quebec City's CHOI 98.1, who tweeted the news last Sunday. When contacted on Tuesday, Anthopoulos declined to comment on it. So we should be hearing more about that and what his new position is going to be and what he's going to do for the Dodgers. I hope to find out myself. And then just yesterday, the biggest news, I think, of the offseason, at least second to the Kazmir signing, or maybe first, Japanese right-hander Kenta Maeda was officially introduced as the newest member of the Dodgers starting rotation Thursday at a press conference. Welcome to Los Angeles and to the Major Leagues, Kenta. Maeda, who turns 28 in April, signed an 8-year contract earlier this week. The deal will reportedly tie up the right-hander with a pay-for-performance agreement, an 8-year deal worth of reportedly $25 million guaranteed. Hey, that's pretty cheap. I'll take that. Maeda was 15-8 with a 2.09 ERA and 29 starts in 2015 with the Hiroshima Carp. In 8 seasons with the Carp, Maeda went 97-67, pretty good record, with a 2.39 ERA and a 1.05 WHIP. Wow! I like that guy already. Pretty cheap. We got him for cheap, didn't we? We had to post $20 million, then give him $28 million. So that's not bad. That's most of the news that came up during the time that you and I didn't see each other in the last 20 days or so, 20, 30 days. Now let's check this out. There was an accident that happened. Dodger reliever Yimi Garcia and his family escaped injury on Monday, the 28th of December, after their vehicle was involved in a one-car accident in their native Dominican Republic. Club confirmed this. The Honda Accord in which Garcia and his wife and daughter were traveling left the road and stopped in a gutter, according to a digital report that was online. Garcia is 25. He was 3-5 with a 3.34 ERA in 59 games for the Dodgers in 2015. So best wishes to Yimi Garcia and his family. Hope he's okay. Glad that there was nobody injured that we heard about, so that's cool. All right, we're almost getting ready for fun stuff. Let's see. Should we mention this now or do it in the fun stuff area? Well, let's mention it now. It's an important thing to me. I like it. Still big news. I'm going. Are you going? Mark your calendars. January 30th is Dodger Fan Fest. I love that. I love that. Who else is in? Are you in? Are you in? Are you in? I'm in. I'm going. Let's meet somewhere. Write back to me and let me know where you want to meet. I'll be there most of the morning and the afternoon. I think it starts at 10 in the morning, goes to like 4 o'clock or something like that. Write to us at letstalkdodgers@gmail.com and tell me where you're going to be, and we'll hang out together. It'll be a lot of fun, meet some more Dodger fans. Anyway, here's the MLB calendar for the offseason. We've been doing this month by month, so let's get to January. We already heard who's in the Hall of Fame. We'll talk about one of those guys a little bit later on, but one of them is Junior Griffey. Deserving guy. I mean, come on. Guy was MVP, All-Star, a zillion times. Can't do better than that. And, of course, Mike Piazza, who we'll talk about later. All right. January 12th, that's coming up next week, is Salary Arbitration Filing Day. And then a couple days later, January 15th, salary arbitration figures will be exchanged. And then from the 1st till the 21st of February, salary arbitration, our hearings are going on. So we'll see who avoids hearings and who has to deal with them. We'll be talking about that later. And there's a lot more dates that happen in February, March, and April leading up to the beginning of the season. We'll be talking about those as Let's Talk Dodgers progresses. We're hoping to have another show in probably before the end of January, maybe. I'm not sure. We'll see what the news is doing. Maybe right before FanFest. We'll see what happens. Or one reporting on FanFest if there's a lot of fun fan fest stuff to talk about. And as we're talking about stuff, let's talk about, whenever I do this, it means fun stuff. First of all, the most fun I'm having is talking Dodger baseball in the offseason. I hope you are too. Join our fan page on Facebook. It's very simple to find. Just go into your Facebook page when you log in and write into your search box there, Let's Talk Dodgers, and you'll find us. And tell all your friends about Let's Talk Dodgers. Still the only and best and first video podcast by fans for fans of your Los Angeles Dodgers. And tell everybody you know. I'm going to tweet it out this afternoon to everybody, and maybe Justin Turner will tune in and watch us for a while. I don't know, maybe we'll have him on the show. That'd be kind of fun. We haven't done that yet, but I have heard over the last 10 years or 11 years we've been doing the show, several personnel inside the Dodgers, not just front office, but some of the players, have seen this here show. And I am flattered. I love it that guys watch this. All right. And it's not anything that they don't know about. It's just kind of fun to act silly once in a while. I'm wearing my Dodger blue tie. Nobody can see it. It doesn't say Dodgers on it, but it's baby blue, Dodger blue. All right. Fun stuff. We haven't done one of these in a while. There's a feature we used to do a long time ago called Do You Care? I ask a really silly or inane question. The answer is usually no, but we play senior writer of the ESPN magazine and former podcaster Eric Karabell, if he cares. He always asks us back. But haven't done one of these in a long time. Let's give it a go. As we mentioned a minute ago, Mike Piazza was elected to the Hall of Fame on his 4th try.
Do you care?
Yeah, no, we'll talk about that in a little while. All right, let's do this. Let's vote. I've got an idea for something to do on the show while we're waiting for the spring training to start. Would any of you like to hear about my top 10 all-time best Dodger autobiography books? I collect Dodger books, mostly autobios. Once in a while, some books about the team if it's good. For example, right now I'm reading that one about Tommy Lasorda, written by his former PR secretary, PR guy, and it's not bad. It's not. I wouldn't put it in the top 10 of all time, but it's a good read because it's got a lot of neat stories. But it's not an autobiography, and Lasorda didn't write it, so don't get him to sign one. But it came out in April last year. It's not bad. But I have a top 10 list I'd like to give you of the top 10 best Dodger autobiographies. There have been a ton of them. Let's take a vote, and we'll talk about that in an upcoming show. Write to us, letstalkdodgers@gmail.com. Let me know if you want to hear about my list of top 10 Dodger autobiographical books. All right. As we mentioned in our last show, UCLA and USC baseball teams will once again take part in the 2016 College Baseball Classic Doubleheader at Dodger Stadium. Features both teams from the 2013 College World Series Finals. The March 6th event includes a doubleheader featuring Oklahoma and Mississippi State in the first game, 11 a.m. Pacific time, before UCLA and USC square off in the second game, which takes place at 3 p.m. UCLA beat Mississippi State in the 2013 College World Series Championship in Omaha in 2013. To purchase tickets, visit Dodgers.com/classic. Again, that's Dodgers.com/classic. The UCLA-USC game will also be televised by the Pac-12 network. In case you're not here in town, you're somewhere else. If you get Pac-12 network, it should be on. That's pretty cool. All right, one of the greatest things I like to do during Let's Talk Dodgers in the off-season, I love to do this during the season too, but it sounds better in the off-season. Now we got a reason to play one. How about a Dodger home run? Could you use one? How about a flashback or a throwback or a flashback Friday Dodger home run from years ago? Ties in with the whole Hall of Fame thing. Mike Piazza. Check this out. And guess who's doing the call on this? A guy that probably should be in the Hall of Fame. Check it out. Are you ready? Mike Piazza from 1997.
High fly ball to deep left center field. It is gone. Mike Piazza is in his 38th home run, and the Dodgers now lead the Rockies 7-1.
Can anybody in the world answer the question, why do they pitch to Piazza?
That's pretty funny. Back-to-back, we heard Ross Porter calling a home run from Piazza in September '97 against the Rockies, and they ended up winning the game 7-1. And that was his 38th home run of the year, and he ended up hitting 40 in '97. And then Vinny asking, why would anybody pitch to Piazza? And, of course, Flashback Friday, if we do a show on Friday, that means we get to do a flashback where we show you an old baseball card. Here's Piazza's last baseball card from Topps in 1998, his last Dodger Topps baseball card. Ready? Here it is. There's Piazza. I could take it out of the plastic. It would look a little better. Let's do that. I hate to finger the cards, but anyway. Here's the last Mike Piazza Dodger baseball card. All right, from '98. And on the back, you can see a nice picture of him there, too. And he did hit 40 home runs that year. Flashback photo is our flashback baseball card for Friday. Friday flashback, Mike Piazza. Why on earth did they ever pitch? Well, I'll tell you why they pitched him, so he could make the Hall of Fame. And he is now in the Hall of Fame. And we'll talk about that continuing on as we get closer to July when they do the induction. All right, what else have we got to talk about here? We got we got some stats. Let's see. Shout-outs. We love doing Dodger shout-outs. If you write to us on the Facebook page or at our email address, letstalkdodgers@gmail.com, we give you a shout-out and a cheer and the whole deal. So we got some shout-outs for you right now. These are people that checked in with us on our Facebook page in the last couple of weeks. Slick Rick L., Eric V., Bobby K., Mike P., Ron S., Mary S., they all posted comments or liked us during the holidays. Finally, I want to give a shout-out to my friends, the Brewer brothers, Mark and Scott. Yes, the sons of that Brewer, Jim Brewer, the sons of the famous Dodger closer in the 60s. Mark and Scott, love you guys. And I believe Mark is still coaching. Isn't he with the he's still with the Rockies? He was with the Rockies last I heard. Those coaches bounce around like crazy. Tip of the cap to the Brewer brothers. And hope to see you all out at the Fan Fest this month. Whoever's in town, let's get out there. We got to do it. All right, we got some stats of the day. We got a couple. This is kind of neat. This comes from Kerry Osborne, Dodger Insider Magazine. Despite season-ending injuries to starting pitchers Hyun-Jin Ryu and Brandon McCarthy, the Dodgers were again near the top in pitching in 2015. The Dodger pitchers, get this now, were 5th in ERA with a 3.44, 3rd in strikeouts with 1,396, and 2nd in opponents' OPS at .699. The Dodgers were also 2nd in starters' ERA at 3.24. That's amazing. And we have a special quiz this time, a stat quiz, question answer. How many Dodgers, this is a neat one, because since Mike Piazza is being, he's going to the Hall of Fame, and the debate has shown up, well, should we retire his number like other Dodger Hall of Famers? Well, not all of them have been retired. I mean, Pedro Martinez pitched for the Dodgers, but he's going in as another guy from the Red Sox, and he was also with Montreal, and he didn't really like his time at Dodgers, and he wasn't here that long anyway, so we didn't retire his number. But after all the hoopla surrounding Piazza, it's interesting to note that after he left in '98, 7 different people have worn number 31. Brad Penny, James McDonald, Jay Gibbons, Tim Fedorovich, Brandon Lee, Drew Butera, and Jock Peterson. But believe it or not, this is not an unusual thing in franchise history. 6 of the 10 retired Dodger numbers have been worn by somebody else after the honoree donned the uniform. In between the end of their Dodger tenure and their election to the Hall of Fame, retirement or the retirement of their number, these guys didn't have anybody else wear their number. Tommy Lasorda wore number 2, of course. Jim Gilliam died, wore number 19. Nobody's ever worn it since. Walter Alston, nobody ever has worn his 24. And nobody's ever been issued 32 after Sandy Koufax retired. But can you name those whose numbers were still worn between the retirement of them and the retirement of their number? I'll give them to you. There are 6 guys. I'll give them to you after the next piece of information here. The other feature we like to do is this date in Dodger history. Let's go for this one. January 8th, 1956. That's 60 years ago. 60 years ago today, Jackie Robinson was awarded the prestigious Spring Iron Medal by the NAACP for his strong support of civil rights initiatives. You think? You think? Come on. Guy did monstrous stuff, not just for baseball, but for the entire world. Come on. He was a beacon of liberty for everybody in baseball and everybody outside of baseball. All right, let's go back to our question here. Can you name those numbers and those players who were worn, whose numbers were worn after their retirements and before their number was retired by the Dodgers, or they made it into the Hall of Fame, either one? Here they are. Are you ready? Number 1, the captain, Harold Pee Wee Reese. After he retired, Paul Wainer, Mike Sandlock, Billy Grabarkowitz, I remember him, Rick Auerbach, remember him, Darrell Thomas, Gary Weiss, they all wore number 1. And then it was retired so nobody could wear it. Believe it or not, Hall of Famer Duke Snider retired, and after he retired, Tommy Hutton and Kevin Paisley, they wore number 4. And there's a long list of guys that wore number 20 after Don Sutton retired, before the Dodgers retired his number. Candy Maldonado, Ed Amelung, Larry C., Mike Davis, Brian Traxler, Darren Holmes, Mitch Webster, I remember that, Mike Blowers, and Darren Lewis all wore number 20. After Roy Campanella retired from baseball, he couldn't play anymore, obviously, number 39 was worn by 2 guys, Ken Rowe and Howie Reed. Jackie Robinson retired, or they left after he retired, and they didn't retire his number until 1969, I guess. But he went into the Hall of Fame in '62. But between 1956 and '69, when his number had not been retired by the Dodgers, one guy wore it. Can you believe that? Ray Lamb. And then number 53, Big D, Don Drysdale, retired in August of 1969, and he didn't make the Hall of Fame until 82 or 83, 84, somewhere in the early 80s. And before that, in that span of time, Tom Pashorek wore number 53 for a while. So pretty interesting stuff there. A little trivia for you right here from Let's Talk Dodgers. Flashback Friday, we did it already. We showed you the Piazza baseball card. Let's see, events and cool stuff going on. Well, the coolest event I know about is going to be January 30th, Saturday, most of the day, the better part of the day, Dodger Fan Fest. All right. But before Dodger Fan Fest, there are going to be some Dodger signings around the Southland. For instance, tomorrow, January 9th, Kirk Gibson at the Frank & Sons Collectible Show in the City of Industry. Can you believe that? Wow. Only thing about it is if you go see him, they're going to charge you big-time money for autographs. You want to know this? From on the little smallest items, $79. Ooh. And for the biggest items, $119 just for one autograph. Whew. Crazy. January 23rd, Claude Osteen, Larry Burwright, and Ben Hines are going to be out at the El Tepeyac Cafe, City of Industry. That should be fun. And as I said, January 30th, Fan Fest. Check out John Suhu's outstanding photography blog at dodgersphotog.mlblogs.com. He has some awesome and terrific pics right now of Kenta Maeda, who just started his career with the Dodgers yesterday when he showed up for his big press conference. Great photos by John Suhu, the best in the business. And let's see, what else we got for you? Is that it? That's going to do it. Don't forget to watch the Facebook page for when we have new shows, because we post them up as we do them, because we never know when we're going to do them. Might be another week or two. I'm guessing maybe 2 weeks till our next show. Anyway, come on back, pull up a chair, sit down, relax, and let's talk Dodgers, and we will see you in 2 weeks. All right, that's good. We'll talk to you later, everybody, and tell your friends, let's talk Dodgers. Hopefully we'll play ball soon. Not yet. And remember,
the greatest baseball organization on this earth is the Dodgers. Don't you ever forget it.
Go Blue. Happy New Year.